Good evening and welcome to Dead Ends. How is everybody this evening? We hope you're having a good week. I know I am because I've been off from work all week, so it's been great. Look at my hair, it looks lovely.
You've done your hair. Okay.
Oh gosh. Okay, so a new topic for debate today. So we're looking into paranormal event or paranormal sort of team discrimination. So we thought, you know what? Actually, it makes for a good debate. Let's have a chat about it and see what everybody else thinks. How are you today, CJ?
I'm okay. I can't see much, so you'll all be happy to know I can't see much of the chat room because I've had some liquid in my eyes that makes it rather blurry. So you're all free from me seeing what you put up tonight. That's why I've got glasses, and if you see me going like that, it's because I can't see. Thanks to having my eyes photographed. But other than that, it's been a relatively cool day.
Well, it's all right. Don't worry, CJ, because we're all saying how amazing my hair looks. So
yeah. You wait till next time. I'm having my own bleeding wig on.
Okay, so as we said, so tonight we're going to be discussing paranormal discrimination. So, we're talking about it on the whole within paranormal events, paranormal teams, etc. So when we're talking about events, it's about public that book on. And when we're talking about teams, it's basically who can join your team, if that makes sense. So I'll crack it open. So if anybody wants to come on and just have a bit of a say or bring up a question, you guys are more than welcome to come on. You're more than welcome to agree, and you're more than welcome to disagree. That's the whole point of this show. Okay, so we just open it up for everybody. So let's talk about the things that really, really matter. So I guess for me, paranormal events and team discrimination. So majority of you guys that run teams or events will have similar types of terms and conditions. And within those terms and conditions, the majority of you do state that, let me just find it because I want to make sure I got the wording right. We operate a zero tolerance policy. And if anyone is found faking any activity or disrupting the investigation, you will be asked to leave and no refund will be given. So I guess from that, have we or are we an all-inclusive society for everybody? I mean, I don't know, what's your take on that, Colin?
We talk about terms and conditions and inclusivity of people. It's some teams, some event companies got terms and conditions, some haven't. And to be quite honest, I've got terms and conditions where we as, but when it comes down to discrimination, I mean, we don't recognize discrimination because at the end of the day, everybody's welcome. I don't care if you come in a wheelchair. I don't care if you've got disabilities. If you want to come along, you can come along. You're welcome to come along. Get tucked in. You just got to, in my mind, you just got to use common sense, to be quite honest. If somebody comes there and they present themselves, say on an event that you're doing, that, we've talked about this, like they want to have a light on. Well, how do you deal with that when you've got 30 or 29 other guests that want to go and do an investigation in the dark? Well, that's why I always make sure that we've got enough team people there that can take somebody off individually. Isn't a problem. Isn't a problem to me at all. But we haven't got anything written into our terms and conditions other than, you don't drink. And basically, you just respect what other people's views and opinions, and we've never, touch wood, ever had any sort of problem. I mean, and I have, I'd say me and Corinne have had down at the Jamaican Inn quite an awful lot of different people with disabilities come along. It's never affected anything. We've just gone and dealt with the situation on hand there and then. But do people tell us? People don't. So sometimes you only find out when you start talking, somebody comes in and they're in a wheelchair because they don't get asked whether they have a disability, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, Debbie Hewlett states we always check out venues and question hosts before booking to see if it's suitable for a disabled hubby. Never had any problems so far. And I think, that's amazing because most of you guys that run events do also let people know that some locations aren't suitable for wheelchair users. And you know what? Sometimes that's just going to happen. It's an unregrettable, unfortunate set of circumstances, but not everywhere is wheelchair accessible. But I guess for me, what I want to discuss is those disabilities that aren't affected by mobility. So how many of you guys in the chat room tonight have actually ever had somebody with Tourette's syndrome come out on an investigation? For me, I think Tourette's syndrome is unfortunate for that person. Bless them, that they live their lives amazingly, and they live their lives like everybody else. But when we say any disruption on the event and you will be kicked out, how would you guys cope with somebody who turned up to one of your events who had Tourette's syndrome? I mean, aren't they just as just as important as a guest as anybody else?
I think it's important because for me, it's never happened. I've never come across anything like that before, and it's something that's made me think: what would we do, and how would you handle it? Especially if you're in a venue or a hotel where there's members of the public, Ed, because obviously people do take offence at times. But again, it comes down to the fact that most people don't tell you or say that they have a hidden disability or a physical disability until they turn up. So for me, again, it just comes down to dealing with that situation on the night when it's presented to you. Now, but that is a good one because how do you deal with that?
How would you? Yeah, I mean, you are saying in your terms and conditions, you're very clear about pregnancy and you're very clear about wheelchair users and mobility issues. But when I look at the generalized terms and conditions, there's that old saying there, and it's in majority of your terms and conditions, any disruption would lead to, an exit from the venue, from the event itself. So how can we be more transparent? How can we be more helpful? Because I'm going to say I have never been on an investigation with anybody who has Tourette's syndrome. Wouldn't bother me one iota, to be honest. But, there are people out there that have booked an evening of entertainment with you guys. How would you feel? How would you handle it? Have you thought about how you would handle it, especially if they're not going to tell you when they're booking that they have a hidden disability such as Tourette's syndrome? But that's the interesting thing.
But sometimes it comes across when you're actually talking to the guests. I mean, the first time you know something's not right, but something's different is when you're actually speaking. And I mean, I can only come off the experiences that we have had when we've had people. I mean, we had a group of 5 lads turn up, and brilliant young lads. The only condition we have down where we do it is, you don't drink, because if you drink, that does cause problems. And I make it very clear, you're gone. We have had to remove people for drinking, buying bottles of wine, getting drunk and whatever. But we had 5 lads, and they were lovely. Sat down right at the course. They got involved. They were going around, but it was until the middle of the investigation when I was sat down in the break time, and I believe Corinne was by the side we were talking about something, when a young lad from this group approached us. And he came over and he was talking about a particular spirit in the stable block, which we come across. And he was talking about, and I'm looking at him, you could tell there was something he wasn't telling us. and he bent over to me halfway over, down to me, because I was sat down doing something, and he said, I'm only asking because I'm going through the transition from a male to a female. And like straight away, my head just turned up to him and said, yeah, what? Because that's my attitude. Like, well, you just be who you are.
Yeah.
You are what you are. Doesn't matter. But he said it so quietly. He thought, he felt he felt uncomfortable. To be quite honest, to say it. And with me, with my mouth, it's like, you be loud and you be proud. Do you know what I mean? And Corinne would agree, if she's in, which I think she is. She's like a vulture. She's not too far away from me, always correcting me. But, we just said to him, his other 4 mates, when I caught sight of them, they were looking over. I thought they were going to start, but it turned out they were protecting him. They were his friends. Aww. And when he came out with that, and he came down, and I said, don't hide what you are. At the end of the day, nobody's here is going to say piss bugger all, or their answer to me, or their answer to me. You just go out and enjoy yourself. Well, with that, no joke, he had lovely black hair, long hair. Oh. The flick of the hair went back. His little man bag came out over the top. He trotted straight over to his mates, said to his mates, yeah, let's get back into that. What a different person it was. But he actually thought he had to keep it on the down low. Yeah. Because I think he felt what other people would think. Well, I don't like to swear, but fuck them at the end of the day. You are what you are. You be loud, you be proud. I don't care.
Be who you are.
Yeah, just be who you are at the end of the day. And he went off and enjoyed himself so much that it was a pleasure to see the difference from the first half to the second half of it. Yeah. But he didn't know. He didn't come up and present to us that that's what he would, that's what was happening with him. But he felt relieved after saying about it. Oh. So sometimes even talking to people like that and making them feel wanted can help.
Absolutely. So Kathy Pentecost says we have had a couple of issues. So Kathy, if you want to come on and let us know what your couple of issues were, brilliant, fantastic. Come on, let's talk about it. Maybe we can give everybody some ideas and some pointers. So pop on. Okay, so Mandy Fellows, only terms we have is no drink and drugs except prescription medicine. Surely the risk assessment would throw up any potential problems such as limited wheelchair access. Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what? I think as a paranormal field, we cover wheelchair access brilliantly. I mean, we really, really do. I mean, you check out most terms and conditions, which the majority of people have copied from another team and blah, blah, blah. It pretty much does cover it, including pregnancy and heart conditions, etc. But tonight I really felt that we needed to get to the hidden disabilities and disabilities like Tourette's syndrome. Yeah. And as Colin has brought up, transgender changes and stuff. Would your customers be okay with these hidden disabilities? They've come for a night where they think it's going to be EVPs and quiet, and all of a sudden, unfortunately, through no one's fault, it's not going to be as quiet as what they would have wanted. And maybe it's a surprise to you as well. So this is what we want to talk about tonight. So, how can we change that to make everybody inclusive? Because like I said, I've been doing this for many, many years, and I haven't personally come across anybody with let's say Tourette's.
Kathy has said that she's okay and happy to do. I can see. Wow!
Yay! Yeah, pop on, back. Kathy. I'll pop the link up, my darling, and then you just click it. There's no need to download. Okay, so Natalie Lawrence, she says, we never have any problems. Some venues are difficult with guests with mobility issues, but we always welcome as many people as possible, no matter what disability they have. We have a lovely deaf group of people that join us regularly. Fantastic.
That well, I mean, I haven't met Nat, but I've got a lot of time for Nat and her team, because at the end of the day, taking deaf people on an investigation, it must be hard on the team, because there's a lot of work involved in that, but you're not stopping them from going, and that's the best thing about it.
Absolutely. And you know, like Kathy said here, we had a team member that had ADHD and autism. And again, that's another thing. What would happen if a guest that, you know, maybe had a fear of the dark wanted the lights on all night?
Yeah.
Because it's not actually clear that lights go off. So what happens if they turn up and they want you to keep the lights on all night? What are you going to do then?
But Callie, at the end of the day, I've got to say it. I mean, if you're going to investigate, you know, there is that talk about lights on, lights off.
Yeah. Is there a difference?
Some teams do investigations. We've done it where the lights are on, because if there's a noise or if there's a disturbance, you want to see it. If it's in the dark, how do you know what you're looking at? Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, you got to think on there. You know, there is a flip side. There's another angle to that, really, with light on, light off.
So Jordan Knight says, anyone of any disability, any gender, any colour, any sex, everyone is welcome on our events. We've got terms and conditions to protect everyone at the event and ensure everyone could have a good and, importantly, a safe time. If venues aren't wheelchair accessible, then we will still find a way to ensure we can offer an alternative that can accommodate all their needs.
Yeah,
that's
brilliant.
Lovely.
That's brilliant. You see, it's out there. And people, they've got, you know, in terms and conditions, but some teams haven't got terms and conditions because they use what I call common sense. You know, it's presented on the night and they deal with it. I mean, we've got stairs where we do our investigations. So, that's steady, is it?
Yeah.
That, you know, at the end of the day, if somebody's got very walking, then at the end of the day, it's nothing to take them up the stairs one at a time, slowly at the back. And I've done it. We've had a team member in front, team member at the back. We've got them up them stairs, and it's never stopped them.
No, and I think as well, like if you look at most businesses, if you do have stairs, they can purchase a particular chair for stairs. So in the event of a fire and stuff, you can evacuate people quicker using one of these chairs. So it might be worth checking in with the venue to make sure they have all of these types of things as well.
Yeah.
Very interesting indeed.
To be quite honest with me, if there was a fire at the inn, it'd be chucked over the shoulder, run down the stairs, and I'll have to do that about 20,000 times. I wouldn't care about doing it. But I've literally threatened. I think we've had with Mandy, actually, funny enough, with Mandy's team's been down there, we've had somebody that couldn't get up the stairs. And I said, don't worry about it. I said, I'll chuck you over my shoulder and run you up the stairs if I have to, and run you back down. But, you know, it doesn't make no difference. People want to go and investigate.
Yeah.
And just because there's the stairs in the way, where there's a way, there's a will in my world. So, you know, you just go to it. But it all comes down to the teams. And what we're seeing in the chat room, what we're hearing is teams are already on the ball with it. You know, it's just something that we've raised, but they're already on that ball with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Kathy can't find the link to come on the panel. I don't know if you need to put the link up.
Yeah, I'll paste it up again.
There you are, Kathy. It's just gone up. And for anybody
go.
else that wishes to come in and have a little chat,
yeah, just click on it. It will absolutely
look the links above your message, and that you click on that, you'll come in the waiting room, and then we'll drag you in, screaming and kicking.
Yeah, it's this. You don't need to download it. Just click on that link, and just pop your name, follow the instructions, allow your microphone and your camera, and there we go. You'll sit in the green room and we'll count you in.
I just want to say, Steve Daly, you're a little bit late coming in tonight, so we'll have a word with you afterwards, okay?
Yeah, love him.
Because he wasn't on here earlier.
He wasn't, bless his little heart. Elliot Ainley says, as a registered blind person, I'm an investigator with a team and have helped venues in the past with any adjustments they can make to help visually impaired get around in general, as well as guests on investigation. Fantastic. That's absolutely amazing. So
actually, I'd like to ask Elliot if Elliot could message me privately, because I'd like to have a chat with him about that, because you might be able to help us improve a little bit down on the venue that I go, actually. because I've only ever had one blind person that have come. So it would be nice if Elliot could private message me.
Okay, so Kathy's ready to come in. So Kathy, we'll get ready to count you in. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hey, Kathy.
Hiya.
Hey, Kathy.
Hiya. Long time no see.
Hello, my darling. You okay?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
So tell us about the couple of issues that you've sort of had in the past.
Yeah, in our terms and conditions for public events, we have it in there that for public events, there's no more than 30 members of the public, but there can be as many team members as needed. And we had one group turn up, and when we did the head count, when they signed in, there was actually 40 members of public. And I did bring it up with the lead investigator. I said, look, you're 10 people over. He explained there was a booking error where the booking system was letting people pay their money and book to go on that day. So that night I used my initiative and said, okay, we'll let it slip this time, as long as you've got the members of team members to, look after the extra 10 people. And then he's due to come in again later this year. And we've still stipulated the same, that he can't go over 30 members. But if he does on a second occasion, then we will be sending 10 members home, because, that is our terms and conditions. And then another time we had a woman that had been drinking, but she disguised the alcohol in a Coca-Cola bottle.
Yeah.
And as we was going around, I thought she was just sort of like a bit OTT and that. And it wasn't until she kept on saying, oh, if I dip my toe in this water, maybe I can go for a swim. And then someone came up to me and said, I can smell alcohol on that lady. So myself and another team leader took her to one side. As we was having a conversation with her, we did smell the alcohol on her. And we reminded her that because it was in the terms and conditions that she agreed to, there is no alcohol to be consumed on the premises. So we actually kicked her out, but it made it a bit awkward because she came with her niece as well. So unfortunately, her niece had to leave early as well.
Oh.
And
but that would have invalidated your insurance if any accident would have happened on that. So I suppose that's understandable, should I say?
I just want to say I can see Mandy and I can see Ghost waiting to come on. So guys, we know you're waiting. All right, don't worry. You're not sitting there and doing nothing. Don't worry.
But yeah, you have got to be really careful with like the terms and conditions and remember what you've got down. Like I said, we did have a team member join us. His mum also was a team member as well, so she was a great help. And this lad, he did have multiple different types of disabilities, and we gradually learned over the months what things we could do to him and what things we couldn't do. Like when we did the protection, he didn't like holding people's hands. So we just said, oh, is it okay if we place our hand on your shoulder? And he said, I guess so. But it did get quite sort of like difficult for other team members, because they were sort of saying, oh, he's letting the team down and things. And I said, we can't discriminate his disabilities.
No.
You've got to live with it. But unfortunately, his health did take a massive downturn, and he had to leave our team.
Oh, love him. But there are people out there don't like to be touched.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've got two sons. They're both autistic. One's got severe learning disabilities. I know exactly what it's like when you're dealing with somebody with autism. There's certain things they do like, there's certain things they won't. And you just, but at the end of the day, everybody with a hidden disability or with a normal disability, a physical one, they still want to be treated like, everybody else. And they're entitled to be treated like everyone else.
Yeah. Like I've got quite a few health issues, and I don't always like to diagnose what I've got to people because, it's sort of like a bit private to myself. I don't want everybody knowing exactly what's wrong with me, but I try not and let anything get in my way. I still carry on.
Well, listen, it was really great to hear from you tonight. Kathy, you take care, all right?
It was great to see you, Kathy.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so we've got Mandy in the waiting room next. So let's bring Mandy on. 3, 2, 1. Hey,
Hi,
Mandy.
everyone. Hi, guys. You okay?
There she is.
I
I love her.
Hey, that's not what you were saying the first time you met me because I'm a Scouser.
Yeah, exactly. No.
So what have you got to add to it tonight, Mandy?
We have so many guests that come on with so many varied disabilities. I mean, even the team members have got different disabilities. Like Colin was saying before about the lady that we brought to the Jamaica Inn.
Yes.
She's got a disease called FOP. So basically her whole body inside is turned into a second skeleton. So a lot of her body's fused, and Colin was straight away, I'll take her up the stairs in the fireman's lift, straight away.
Me, got a few giggles with her, didn't we? Because I think
Yeah.
she found that quite a bit funny. How are you going to get me up there? I would have got her up there if it killed me. Because nothing stops anybody from doing an investigation,
No.
in my mind.
And a lot of the places that are booked, the venues, I try and accommodate the places for the people that I know that come on regularly. I mean, I've got team members that have got epilepsy. My Adam, who's a team member, he's got Tourette's. I shouldn't laugh, but he makes me laugh. But he is quite reserved when he's out with us. There's only a few things that will trigger him off.
Yeah.
But we've got people that come with autism, people who are blind, people who are deaf. We have all sorts of people come along, and if they enjoy it, then we'll take them. There's no discrimination. If this is what they want to do, then we'll take them along with us.
Have you ever had anybody come on that has presented a problem for the investigation, man?
No, the only time we ever had anyone was a girl, and she didn't really have any difficulties, but she had what you call a potty mouth. Now, Stevie Daly will know, he was there.
Steve's waiting in the chat room. Hi, Steve.
He was there that night, and she was quite rude and in a sexual way towards Steve Daly as well. It was disgusting. And she did have to have a little warning off me to say, if you're going to come along, you do need to stop this chatter because people don't like it.
Yeah.
Of course, Steve was harassed.
Steve harassed by a woman?
Yeah.
He's going to get harassed when he gets on you now, coming in late. Don't worry about it.
So then, Mandy, would you say that all in all, you think we are a very inclusive field in the paranormal?
Oh, yes, very inclusive. More inclusive than a lot of other things. I mean, Natalie Lawrence, she's another one. She'll accommodate for anything. There's so many people out there that will accommodate, but there's so many that won't accommodate. And we had a lady, not last year, the year before. She was terminally ill with cancer. Her bucket list was to go to 30 East Drive. And we actually booked 30 East Drive specifically for her and a couple of others and took her in the car. And unfortunately, she's passed away now, but it was her bucket list. She wanted to do it, so we booked it and we did it for her.
Oh. Well, John Ingram says, where do I sign up for the female harassment?
Oh, I'll send you her Facebook profile.
Well, thanks ever so much for coming on, Mandy. It's been a complete hoot. Thank you.
My pleasure. And thank you for the other day as well.
Oh, you're welcome, my darling. All right. Take care.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So we have Ghost sitting in the green room right now. So we're going to go to Ghost. So 3, 2, 1. Hello.
Hello.
Is this Nanny Lynn?
It is indeed. Yes. How are you both? All right.
We're fine.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, I've been doing the paranormal for over 40 years, and it's absolutely changed dramatically since I started. But I've always had a good team with me. We've always been to great places. We had a no drinking policy because we didn't want them to see more spirits than normal. And it was great. We enjoyed ourselves. It was a hobby mostly for people then. And people paid money, so they wouldn't want to ruin the night. But we did accommodate anybody that had illnesses. I've got fibromyalgia myself. And I will say that Natalie is very good. She knows that I have that, and she will tell me or help me with any venues that she books that she knows I'm going to, and I will do the same. I used to do ghost walks in Gloucester for 14 years, and I actually took a deaf group of people, and people laughed at me, said, "Oh, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that?" I said, "Look, just because they've got a disability doesn't mean they can't come. It doesn't mean they can't enjoy themselves. We will find a way around it, as we will find a way around everything." As it was, they brought 2 interpreters with them. They loved it. I'm quite vocal and visual anyway, as you can see. Yeah. So when I'm scaring somebody, they can see it. They don't have to hear it. You know, if I just go, they can see it. They can hear it, you know. But another time as well, I took 17 people down in an area in Gloucester, Cafe Rennie, and I had scarers that jumped out on people in the dark. And they jumped out on these 17 French students. And when the lights come on and he jumped out, this young lady was sat down. And I said to the elderly lady that was with her, "Is she okay? Did we frighten her that much?" And she said, "Oh, she's all right. She's got a heart problem." I went,
"Oh, God.
What? Are you kidding me?" She said, "No." I said, "Madam, you are going on a ghost walk. You are bound to be frightened. Why didn't you tell me?" She said, "I never thought." So from then on, before I started my walk and my paranormal investigations, has anybody got any disabilities, illnesses, worries of any kind? Let me know now, because you ain't claiming on my insurance after.
Nanny Lynn, the way that you were talking then, you were scaring the hell out of me.
Oh,
exactly. That's why they didn't put a foot wrong. Not when I start.
Well, I gotta go on investigation with you. That'd be epic.
That'd be a laugh.
Oh, you would enjoy it. I can assure you.
All right, sign me up.
It has changed an awful lot, sadly. But you know, times move on. We move on. We have to move on. But we're all human beings. We all enjoy what we do, and we should come together now in this sad time and just try and do things that we can do to help each other and to just enjoy what we've got, because you just don't know. I lost my son 10 months ago, and I just, I don't want to go there, but you just don't know. He was only 50. So let's enjoy it while we can. Let's love each other while we can. Let's do our best to enjoy our paranormal events, all these sort of things. And I just urge people to stop and think. Just because you have a disability, it doesn't mean you cannot do anything.
Yeah,
you can.
Exactly.
And people will help you even more. They will help you even more today. I mean, I used to make jokes about my weight on my ghost walks. And at first, people used to laugh. But they don't now, because they find it, "Oh, don't do that. Don't say that about yourself." See how I mean about things have changed. People don't do that now, or most people don't. So I just wanted to come on and have a little say and not let you speak while I'm speaking. And I'm sorry.
No, I tell you what, you're my favourite person now. I love you to pieces.
We'll have to have you on again on another show.
Yeah.
Well, I've got my own shows as well. I'd like to actually invite you on one of my StreamYard and interview you two. If that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would love to interview you, and we'll get together anyway. I've took enough of your time left. I know you got more people coming, so God bless you both. Good for what you're doing, and keep the good work up.
Oh,
thank you very much, Danny. Thank you.
Speak soon, darling.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
So, oh my God, she's a peach. I love her.
Yeah. Definitely got to have Nana back on it.
Oh my
And I
God.
like it when it's called Nana or
I
Nanny.
do, yeah, I love that.
Nice to have a paranormal nanny.
Oh, isn't it? Okay, so we've got the most wonderful person sitting in our green room. I actually adore chatting to Steve. So let's bring Steve on. So 3, 2, 1. Hey, Steve.
Hello.
And where the hell was you right at the beginning?
I was busy. One point I'm going to make first, I'd like to thank Mandy Fellows for embarrassing me on Facebook Live. That was at a time in my period of my life that I'm trying to forget because I'm scared.
Did it scare you? Did it sleep that much?
It was just very irritating.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can. It's the most PC way I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing. Anyway,
Everybody needs to send Stephen friends requests, especially the ladies.
Because the last time I ended up with loads of them. No, please don't. Some of them I felt bad with declining, but no. See what on the kind of topic of disabilities and the paranormal. I've got a few points to make, but I don't want to say too much about one point because that's more catered. Let's see what we're talking about the live feeds.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got friends that have got like terminal illnesses, and like one of their sons is 18 and he's fully blind, and I've taken him out ghost hunting a few times and he loves it. So see, like taking him places, I've got to kind of factor in what's safe for him. And I also believe that his senses might be heightened a wee bit as well, like when he goes. But he's going to experience probably some good stuff. But I'm going to talk about that more like in the next live. The other one was I used to pal about with a lassie that had terminal cancer, and she couldn't walk very well. And I remember taking her to one. She loved ghost hunting, and we took her to an event at, trying to remember, Vogrie House in Edinburgh. And I mean, there was a lot of steep staircases, and she was adamant she was going up these stairs, so she actually had to get baby carried up the stairs. I took a shot, and my other friend took a shot back down the stairs. So it was, to me, I think ghost hunting should be inclusive for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what tonight's show is all about. So it's just, what are people doing? Because obviously the terms and conditions are so straight to the point, and they talk about wheelchair users and mobility issues and pregnancy and heart conditions. But I don't know, if I was somebody who unfortunately had a hidden disability, I don't know, like autism, I didn't like the lights being off, or Tourette's, and I was looking at those terms and conditions and I saw the word anyone being disruptive, I may think, actually, no, I'm not going to go because I don't want to disrupt their event. And so I just wondered whether it'd be a really good topic to talk about, and how many people, have encountered a disability that they've never encountered before, and how have they dealt with that and gone forward to make sure that everybody coming along to an event or joining a team feels inclusive.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting.
I remember going to an event. It was that. I don't for 1 minute think Tourette's is funny, by the way, but this guy, it was at an event I was at, he had Tourette's, and he ended up in the same team as me. And I swear, honestly, I spent most of the night laughing because he made my night. He just came out with some random stuff, and it's like I loved it because it was.
Steve, you can't help but laugh, can you? Really, because at the end of the day, it can be funny, and they know that. They know that what they come out with, and they expect.
And I think it makes them feel comfortable as well.
Yeah.
I remember I was sitting in the dark, and there was like 4 of us. And you get this, is there any spirits here? Can you tell me your name? And you got this guy, you just see some of the stuff he came out. He was like kicking, and I remember sitting in the corner, like absolutely pissing myself laughing. And it's just.
I think it would be great. Oh, amazing. And, and I think it would be lovely to see everybody else sort of like making sure that person's okay and they've got everything they need. Do they need a break? Are they all right? Oh, it'd be
But
great.
I got a question about that though, Steve. What did the guy think about it himself?
Yeah, did you ask him?
How did you ask him how he felt there? You know, obviously, if people were laughing, whether he was laughing along with them, did he expect it? Did he understand that obviously what he's going to come out is going to have some funny intels to it, isn't it? Really, how did he feel? Did you ask?
Well, I kind of spoke to him at the end of the night, and I did kind of say to him, "Mate, I'm sorry, I feel bad for laughing." He's like, "What time?" What he said was, "Fuck it, just it's his life." He just embraces it. He finds it funny himself.
So he embraces it. He embraces his Tourette's.
So it was brand new. Honestly, I loved him. It was great.
Oh,
it was great.
It
was he made my night because it was quite flat to be. I don't really slag. I wouldn't slag teams off, but the people that did the event wasn't the best events. So it kind of made my night because it turned into.
So you got entertainment from it then.
Because you could see some people rolling their eyes, and that made me even laugh even harder because it was funny. It just came out with these random things. It was like is there anybody there? And it's like you know, somebody's got a wanker in the corner, and you're like,
I think I would have been laughing too, but I think actually, because of who I am, I probably would have been laughing and then thinking, shit, should I be laughing? Like, is it all right to laugh? Is this person okay with me laughing?
The guy that honestly was a bit like myself. He was a big man child, so it was interesting. So
yeah.
But at the end of the day, he went there. He knew he had Tourette's, so he still booked on. So he knew what was going to happen. Do you know what I mean? So, and he still cracked on with it. Good on him, as I say. Do you know what I mean?
See, when I used to run a couple of events, see if somebody got in touch with me and said, "Listen, I've got this wrong with me," and it's like, "Come, that doesn't bother me. Come." Because if somebody else has got an issue with it, that's their issue. No, it's inclusive for everybody. My aim is just for everybody to have fun on an event. No, it's.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to be quite honest. I mean, with the way that we do it, sometimes you've got to take. I think you've got to take other people's feelings in it, but you can take them away from it. Do you know what I mean? You can take you can take people out of that situation and move it around. You know, so you don't have to put them people together, if that makes sense. Because we always split 3 teams. So if you've got somebody like that, they'll be in a team where they'll have a lot of tolerance for it. Whereas some of them just want to get off and do. And you can make your own judgment there and then on an investigation, how people are going to be react just by talking to them. To be that's
I would try and split them down the middle, right? And I'd usually kind of would maybe have a rowdy bunch go one way and a kind of no serious one go the other. And I would go with a rowdy bunch because I just like having fun. I remember. See the event that Mandy was talking about. I remember it was Morecambe Winter Gardens, and I remember that was funny that night. There was a few stories that could probably be told about that event because it was completely stupid. I think at one point, Gary Fields had hypnotised women to chase me around this stage, and I was like, "Oh, it was terrifying."
Oh, bless you. Well, look, thanks ever so much for coming on, Steve. You've been a star again. Thank you. And we look forward to seeing you at the end, sort of roughly at the end of the month for a Sunday live.
And Steve, can you make sure you're on time for that one, please? All right.
I'll set my alarm. I'll even dig out my Ron Burgundy costume just for you.
There's my boy.
Well, listen, you darling. Bye.
Bye. He's funny, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's hilarious. So Terry Copps says, it's fantastic to be inclusive, but the public are not always obliging. And you see, this is one of my points. You know, what would you do? What would you do if, you know, Steve was lucky. He had a good laugh with the guy, you know, and everything like that. And he was okay with it. But what would you do if, you know, people had paid to come on your event and they're getting upset and annoyed? Would it end up with these poor people with hidden disabilities being on their own or together? And would that make them feel singled out? It's just one of those things you can't win with, I think, isn't it?
I think again, it comes down to how you handle the situation. To be quite honest,
Yeah.
and a lot of it is common sense. I mean, I've got to be quite honest. I can only refer back to what the experiences that we've had, and we did have one individual that turned up in an investigation. She presented as blind. She had a carer with her, and everything was fine until we discovered when it came down to signing out, because we always get the guests to sign terms and conditions as well before we do the investigation, so it's made clear to people,
Yeah.
this is what the do's, the don'ts, and you signed it. And for some reason, she refused point blank to sign it, and she really started kicking off. And her carer that she employed to be there was really a little bit embarrassed over it. But what we discovered was when we were doing the introduction, and I said, well, you know, for health and safety reasons, we asked you to sign these because obviously, you know, it's part and parcel of the investigation. She was really kicking off over it. We didn't know why. Because she had a carer there. She could have signed on her behalf, but it was just to protect us. In the end, she didn't take place because we had to go and speak to the manager, and the manager had to say, if you can't sign the form, which is in the conditions of coming, then you can't do the investigation. But it was then afterwards when we discovered that where they were sitting at the table having their meal, that what it was she was drinking because there was loads of cans found underneath her chair. So she had got drunk. So, but she couldn't do that. That's the only time we've had to take somebody like that out of the picture. But going back to the other public, they were being supportive, but towards the end, they were getting their arse in their hands because, you know, everybody was falling over backwards and she was being very, very obstinate. No matter what you did was wrong for her. And they were then getting really annoyed about it. But that's the only time we've had to remove somebody with a disability like blind, really, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Shame.
So Rosemary Savage, I like that name, Savage. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I hope I've pronounced that correctly, Rosemary, which basically means any joint can dislocate at any time without warning. I spoke to a team organizer who asked my capabilities and how they could help if I had an issue. All the team were very lovely, very accommodating, and she ended up having a great evening. So that's amazing. I think it's restored my faith. I didn't know that we were doing so much, so I'm so glad I brought the subject up, CJ.
Well, it just goes to show that it's out there, isn't it? People are taking it serious.
Yeah.
They do look at it, and to be quite honest, it's good to know. It is good to know.
Yeah, it's restored my faith a little bit, I have to say. Sorry, I look like an old person. It's bloody cold up here, so I've got a little blanket around my legs.
But it also goes to show, Kelly, what, you know, the groups out there, the event companies out there, that, you know, they're decent people out there. This is what the paranormal should be about. You know, we've brought it up on a show, on our Dead Ends, but at the end of the day, did we really need to bring it up? Because judging from what I'm seeing, everybody's on the ball with it.
Yeah,
but
it's been amazing.
It's referred our faith in it, really.
Absolutely, and I think those new teams coming on, I think having discussions like this can also help them.
Yeah.
So they can see what other teams are doing. So you know, it's a sharing is caring moment, really.
Sorry,
to be honest.
I did see your post, Elliot. Thank you very much. If you can message me, it would help. So it's just Elliot put up saying that he would contact me about the carpet, which is great. And again, I've got somebody there who's going to come in and help. Brilliant.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. Sharing is caring, isn't it? You know, it's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so another thing that I noticed in some terms and conditions, not all, only some, was not allowing the same-sex groups of over 6.
Now, is that to do with like stag parties, hen do's? Is that what you're referring to?
No, it didn't say anything like that. It just said no bookings of the same sex for over 6 people.
Don't know what that means then. So I mean, I've had up to 10 Hells Angels turn up at an investigation, and believe me, my balls shrunk when I saw them walk in with their thinking, "Oh shit, we're dead." And you know what? They were the best we ever had down there. They were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But they were full on Hells Angels. It was their partners that wanted to come down. But it didn't bother us because there was, 10 other blokes, 10 other women sort of thing. It was brilliant. But it did shake up at the beginning. And I've got to be honest, I thought, well, what's going to happen here? Am I going to handle this? The only thing I could do is send Corinne in to deal with them. But luckily I didn't have to do that, but that was enough to frighten the shit out of them. So they behaved all night, to be quite honest.
I've been on an investigation as a same-sex group of over 6. So I've been to a hen party on a paranormal investigation, and I have to say we were really well behaved. So no alcohol before the event, so we just saved ourselves until the event was finished, and we were all really well behaved. I would say majority of us were already in the paranormal field anyway, so I had a bit of common sense about us. But I personally don't have any issues with same-sex group bookings, to be honest.
But is that what the people feel? Is it that they're worried that you have a party of the same sex, they're going to cause disruption? I've never come across it. I'm sorry, really. To be quite honest.
Absolutely, but when you're perusing these things like we do, CJ, we do a bit of research to make sure that our information is factually correct. It's just one of those shockers that I couldn't believe that some groups out there are saying same-sex bookings of over 6 are not permitted. I just thought that was a bit weird.
But I'm going to play devil's advocate here a little bit, because I think it has to be said. Have these people had bad experiences, and that's why they've put that in? We don't know. You just don't know. Maybe they've had people turn up in groups which has caused them loads of trouble. You just don't know. So, being devil's advocate on it a little bit, could that be the reason why some say that they won't accept over so many of the same sex? Is it an alcohol situation? If they worry people are going to be drinking?
I don't know, because you could have like 10 women and 10 men, and they could all still be drinking, and they're all still causing a problem. So I think for me, it's a pile of bullshit. I think just let people book onto your events, regardless of how many women are trying to book on, to be fair, or men trying to book on. Just let them come on. If they're assigning a terms and conditions that say won't drink, won't cause disruption, kick them out if they do.
Yeah, but use the point. Use the flip side of it. If you're taking 30 people on, right, that are coming in, you get couples coming, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
So you're going to get more of the same sex on both sides, aren't you?
Yeah.
Think about it. So but it's still the same. You're still going to get probably over 6 males. You're probably going to get over 6 females if you've got 30 people coming. So what's the difference in saying, we don't accept people over parties over 6 of the same sex? It's like, hang on, it's a bit daft, that really.
It is a little bit daft, isn't it? Bloody stupid. Anyway, I think we've nearly reached the end now. Gosh, that went so quickly. Yeah, it went really quickly. Oh, anyway, guys, in the chat room, thanks ever so much. Nice, simple, easy topic tonight. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed that, managed to bite into it. I'm really stoked that everybody in the chat room so far is, they're on it. They're on the ball. Guys, you surprised me. Oh, Debbie's come into the chat room. Let's have Debbie on quickly, because I know she came on earlier and then disappeared. Yeah. Debbie, 3, 2, 1. Chat room. Thanks ever so much. Debbie. Nice, simple, easy topic tonight. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed that. Managed to bite into it. And Debbie's gone.
And who's that, Debbie?
Not entirely sure. It
Catch your
just said
name.
Debbie.
It just said Debbie, did it? Debbie, if you can hear us, if you can get really connected back in, try. We'll give you 5 minutes because it's only fair, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
There's the thing from there.
Karen Fielding says bikers are a great community. I got brought up with bikers. Yeah. I got brought up with the Hells Angels. So yeah, they are great.
I was not joking, Kelly, when I said they were the best that we had. Corinne would verify that. They were so brilliant. And when you told them not to drink, they could only have one drink. That's what worried me. And the look on their faces, they were devastated, but they complied. And then halfway through, after the second break, I had to be honest, they were that good. I actually said to them, guys, because they were all sat there like this, sat at the tables. Their wives were out talking. And I said, guys, you've been so good. If you want to go and get a second drink, I couldn't even finish the bloody sentence before they were all up, running up to the bar to have a second drink, because we allowed them to have a second drink. But they were good as gold.
Do you reckon there's a paranormal biker community out there?
Well, they got
let's get them on.
That way. Yeah,
I'd love that.
Yeah. If any of you in there in the chat room know of a bike group that does paranormal, get them to come on. Ask them to contact us.
Yeah, I'd love that. I wonder if they do like full-on proper pig roasts and stuff. I'll be up for that.
To be quite honest, it's they would be brilliant. The other thing I just quickly mentioned, when we see if Debbie does come back on, is back last year I got contacted by an association, and the association was of transgender, because they had gone to another location as a group, about 30 of them, and they enjoyed the ghost hunt so much they wanted to do another one, but obviously COVID had hit. So I wished COVID hadn't hit, because I could have been in an absolutely fantastic position to say what it was like to have them. But speaking to them on the phone, or the person that was organising it, she was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I really felt I was looking forward to it. So I hope that they will come back and get in contact, because they're welcome to come down. But, there would have been 30 of them. I think my life would have been made hell from them, because they told me that they were going to wind me up, chase me, and all this sort of thing. Corinne would have had a time of her life with it. But it would have been great, to be quite honest.
Well, listen, we've got a little bit of an update, haven't we, on Bump in the Night?
Shit, yes. Do you want to talk about it? Because you discovered it.
Well, so yes, so I had previously been on a Bump in the Night event a long while back. I went to Shepton Mallet. So I'd been hearing a lot about an email that had been circulating. So obviously, fact checker. I wanted to see if that email was indeed genuine. So I emailed Bump in the Night from my old booking, just to ask them what they had going on. And I received what can only be described as one of those responses that just gets generally sent out. And unfortunately, it does appear, guys, that it looks like Mr. Stephen Howard may in fact be coming back in 2022. So the email describes that during 2021, during COVID times, any bookings that have been made in 2021 look like they're going to be forwarded to 2022. So it is absolutely worth looking out for that. Keep your eyes and ears peeled. Let us know if you see any sort of snifter of that person coming back into the field. I obviously will keep doing my homework and my research along with Colin, because he'll do that too.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at Trisha's comment, because I got Trisha. She threatened revenge on me. Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, so yeah, we've had a lot of people come to us and let us know that they have been successful in being refunded by banks and PayPal. But I do want to point out that's refunded by banks and PayPal. In the email that was sent to me by Bump in the Night, it does tell people to go to their banks or PayPal to get a refund, which I found quite naughty, but also very, very telling. So guys, keep your eyes peeled. If you haven't managed to get a refund yet, get in touch. Maybe we can help you with some good advice on how to get a refund back if you're still waiting.
Kelly, we have had people contact us that didn't even know that the company had gone bankrupt, but it's still wrong that emails are being sent out from it, because isn't it dissolved?
It is, and the website's not available. So if anybody goes on now and tries to email them through their website, you won't get anywhere because the website doesn't exist. The only way I was able to do it, like I said, was because I had booked an event a couple of years ago, unfortunately. And that's the only reason I was able to get an automated reply from Bump in the Night. But yes, automated replies are coming out.
Nanny Lynn's just put down there the automatic response, Kelly.
Yeah.
So people have had them.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, look out for it. We are not done with this by a long shot. We are continuing to do our research and look into this for you. Anybody, like I said, still outstanding a refund, it is worth letting us know. So we can keep records. If you've got a refund, bloody brilliant. Let us know, though. Let us know how you managed to get hold of one so that we can pass that advice on.
I think there's a time limit, isn't there? If it goes above a time limit, they can't do it. So it's whether, because I remember one person contacted and saying, I think there's about £600 that they've lost from it, which was like, oh, that's a lot of money to lose.
But there are ways around it. You can always sort of say when you're on the phone to the bank, well, put me through to the CEO then. I want to talk to the CEO. And we know that people have done that, and they have been, it has worked for them. They have managed to get a refund by being argumentative back and saying, no, I really do want to speak to your CEO. So absolutely worth doing it. So yeah, guys, thanks ever so much for today. You guys have been amazing as always. I know this probably wasn't one of those hot, fiery topic shows that you wanted, but you know what? Sometimes we have to be quiet.
Who says we have to be quiet?
So, you know, we have debate shows that are a little bit quieter than others. It's our flashcasts you want to watch out for.
Well, yeah, which in particular we've got coming up this Sunday. Is it this Sunday?
Are we talking about JT?
No. We're talking about Steve's one.
Steve's one's the end of the month. Roughly around the end of the month.
We've got a flashcast coming up there. But in between these shows, if something is brought to our attention, we will do the flashcast.
Oh, absolutely.
I think there's a possibility of one coming up soon.
Oh,
to be quite honest, because somebody needs to get it.
Yeah.
Quite honest with you.
Absolutely. But look, you guys know us so well. If there's something boiling your piss in the paranormal community and you think, do you know what? People need to know about this. Contact us as long as we've got facts, you know, and we can do a bit of research ourselves to make sure those facts are correct. You guys know that we will run that for you and for the paranormal community.
Ooh.
What's that?
Oh, Kerry. Oh, my eyesight's come back. You've done your hair.
Oh yeah, I have. Look, it's beautiful.
You make me see my bloody wig next time. Don't you worry.
Shut up and drink your milk, you freak. Right. Good night, everybody. We love you all. Bye.
Night, guys. Love you. Bye.